Two and a Half Citizens podcast. I'm Zen.
I'm Roman.
And I'm Pablo.
And as every week, Pablo will not say the intro. And it is what it is. And you know what? We get it. I don't want you to feel...
We wouldn't want you to do anything that you wouldn't like to do.
Exactly. We don't want to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. We want to make sure that we have your consent with everything.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about it is I'm already like fighting back like my allergies with your cat. So it's one thing to like, because it's like subconscious. Like I try to like push my accent back just when I speak in general. And so I'm already fighting the allergies. So if it's going to be something where I know I can't say it correctly, I'm just not going to do it.
You're not even going to go ahead and go down that route and even try to go there.
Yeah.
So, Roman,
we got a lot going on.
Well,
this week,
real
boys.
quick, let's get into it. How was y'all's week? If we're just going to touch on that real quick, everybody's week was all right.
I'm good.
Maybe it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Y'all was straight.
Yeah, it was straight.
Just chilling.
Oh, I'm out here proposing again, but this time to the homies.
Okay, so let's get into that real quick.
Yes.
So I almost cried this morning.
Because you're drunk.
But okay, you're right. So what had happened was we pull up here and Pablo pulls a Roman this morning, by the way. Let's get into that.
I did.
He pulled a Roman and woke up, texted us at 8 o'clock in the morning, said, "Yo, dog, I just pulled a Roman. Sorry,
No,
dog.
if he pulled a me, he would have woken up at 8.
I woke up at 8.
No, he would have woken up at 8 but not texted.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's what I do.
I completely
He texted us. He
I completely
texted us
owned it. Like,
and let me know that, yo, dog, I'm running a little late today. And I was like, okay, cool. That'll help me catch up on some WandaVision, which I didn't even get to finish fully watching the episode. So we get Roman here, and Roman brings his video friend today. We got some things about to look a little more crisp today.
Crispy.
We got
things about to look a little more crispy today. And Pablo pulls me to the side, excited me for what I thought was his penis. That wasn't. Okay? Yeah. What wasn't. I was like, all right, what's up? We finally breaking down the homie barriers. But apparently we broke down other homie barriers that I didn't know were on the table today or on the chopping block. So I get a card and a beverage of the alcoholic variety. Carbox, Crawford Bach, to be exact with
Cover your ears.
Oh no.
You're minor.
And
almost not yet. I mean, almost not anymore.
The boy.
Oh no.
The boy is getting married, and your boy is finna be a groomsman. I ain't never groomed myself in life, but I guess I'm grooming myself.
You got married and had to groom
this.
yourself. You're lying. You're lying.
Ish.
Note that listeners of the Two and a Half Citizens podcast, note this right now. Zen is a capper. He is capping.
What, dog?
He's saying that he's never groomed in his life, but I was at his wedding and motherfucker was groomed. You know, he's looking cute.
I'm not gonna lie.
He had his hair all slicked back and shit.
I want to get into some little thing real quick.
Okay, go for it.
And this is derailing, but we're going to end with this part with saying congratulations, Pablo. I'm happy that we're going to be a part of this whole thing together.
Yeah.
And that's going to be dope.
I'm excited.
But when it comes to grooming...
Oh, God.
When it comes to grooming...
I need a haircut.
What is so bad about... I always feel like I'd like to be all clean and stuff, but like, why everybody getting so mad at people for grooming girls?
What you mean?
Like... Chris D'Elia just came out with a response video.
That's what you meant. Oh, God.
Shoot him.
Chris D'Elia.
That's bad. That's bad.
Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, that was bad.
Jared, you're supposed to be on this shit, bro.
Chris D'Elia.
I didn't know what he meant. That was
came back after I guess the whole fucking COVID shit. Like the whole time that like COVID's been going on, towards the beginning of it, he got outed for some misconduct shit.
Talking to 16-year-old girls.
Allegedly.
But yeah, allegedly.
And
I mean,
he comes back with like a 9-minute video talking about...
Which you made me watch, and he didn't really apologize. He was just more like, it was consensual, I was a sex addict, and then that's it.
And like apologize for cheating on his wife to us.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Which we don't apologize to me, dog. Like,
apologize to your wife, bro. I mean...
So
like, I don't
allegedly...
care. I'm not married to you.
Apologize to these gals.
There's text messages where... Basically, everyone's like, once the charges are brought, then like things might change. I guess there is some charges being filed from one person who says that that like she was 16 or 17. There's the weird thing right now.
The thing is.
Well, let's get into the logistics real quick about the fact that some people are saying that where he did it, if that was the case, was in a state that's legal. But do you really,
do you really want to get off on a technicality?
We're not
But not only that, there's another
you really
one.
want to R. Kelly your way out of here?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Here's where it gets a little stickier. Here's where it gets a little stickier.
Came on her face.
No.
Stop.
The part.
You get the bottle. That was bad, but not too bad.
The part that's sketchy, and I don't even know what the rules is. So you can get off the technicality for fucking this girl, right? Potentially.
God.
But then,
why do you gotta word it like that?
Because it is what it is. But then he was getting or allegedly soliciting photos from this girl.
Oh no!
Once that happens, I think that's federal and along all lines.
Because it crosses state lines.
On all lines, it's child pornography.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
At that point, it's
so
child
it's weird. Is it
pornography.
weird? Like you can, penetrate this girl legally, but you can't receive pictures from this girl.
She can't
and I don't
penetrate your
agree
soul
with it.
with
I
her
don't agree
beauty.
with it. I don't agree with any of it. Shit's all weird.
I think
all-
you do agree with
but
it.
if we're
You're just trying
talking
to
about-
compensate for the fact that you
If we're talking about this in a legal standpoint, there is those things, right?
okay.
Is it weird that those rules are like, for one, I still think that it's weird that states by states have like their own
All right.
consent law.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that shit's weird, but I'm 17 right now. Wednesday, I will no longer be 17. If I fuck a 40-year-old woman right now just because she's hot, technically in Texas, it's legal.
It's legal,
and I got
17.
some fucking puss, So
But it's also like.
But then you
Stop
send a
being
dick
stupid.
pic.
No,
but
no,
then
no.
she asked for a dick pic, and then there's child
I'm like,
pornography,
nah,
right?
dog. I was
right?
like- I'm like,
so how does it go? You fuck this 40-year-old girl. You fuck your teacher. Let's not even get into that.
But see,
You fuck your librarian.
thing is, like,
all of,
I got a cute dick.
like we can't. No, nobody has a cute one. Like, stop. Here's the thing. So like, I know we're like, we really shouldn't be joking about this, but whatever. It is what it is. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's like whenever stuff like with teachers happens, like if it's a girl teacher and a male student, people tend to make a joke out of it and be like, well, if that was me, like I would have like not said anything. And it's like, no, that teacher's a pedophile. Like they should.
Of course. So that's one thing that I've always wondered, like, truly,
double standard.
truly speaking, there's always those double standards. And if you're being real most of the time, a guy won't care because a guy's sole purpose when they're so young is I just want to get pussy. But then you feel violated in these weird ways where there's the stigma where men can't talk about their trauma or can't really marinate on it.
Well,
when Terry Crews says that he's been like Me Too,
We're like, shut the fuck up.
in the sense
Terry
we're like,
Crews.
why? But why do you say that? Because he's a big,
No, I know, but I'm saying
muscular
that's what
dude.
society's saying. I wasn't saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's what society thinks. Like, Terry Crews, shut the fuck up. Like, but in reality, it's like,
what are
dude,
you not going to be able? Because
like-
then what are you going to do? Truly, you're a big dude,
Yeah.
and you get sexually harassed by, let's just say, a woman.
What are you gonna do? Hit her?
Hit her?
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to be like? Yeah,
honestly-
fight her off, and then what? Then
Fuck
catch
it, dude.
another charge? So it's.
Yeah.
I'm not saying men got it bad,
No.
but men got it bad.
No.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
I'm just saying, dog, we're oppressed. We're the silent majority.
I apologize for all of this. I made him chug a beer at 9 a.m.
Yo, I'm just saying, dog.
No.
I'm just saying, believe all men.
Yes.
Okay, we're just gonna get into
Believe
it.
all
on
men
that.
and free Ghislaine Maxwell.
No. Okay. So
Real talk.
now that we've been canceled for like the millionth time, let's get into it.
So,
First story.
what's on the chopping block today,
Roman?
boys?
What's on the chopping block? Alrighty. So first things first. I haven't really looked into this, but I know you guys have. Nike VP resigns after family tied to sneaker reseller uncovered. According to ComplexNews.com.
Shout out Brendan Dunn.
Shouts out Brendan Dunn.
Oh yeah, he did write up the story on this.
Okay. Ann Albert, a Nike employee of 25 years, who most recently served
I think it's
as-
Hebert.
Yeah, I think it's Hebert. Yeah.
Is that what did I say?
Albert.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. Ann Hebert. I'm sorry for butchering your name, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
you are. I don't know if you're them.
At least I'm bilingual. What's your excuse?
A Nike employee of 25 years who most recently served as a VP overseeing its North America business left the company on Monday, according to an international email viewed by Complex. Ann Hebert, VP/GM North America Geography has decided to step down from Nike. Okay, yeah, step down from Nike effectively and immediately. Telling us on Complex, 19-year-old sneaker reseller named Joe. A piece mentions a credit card Joe used. Wow, that is some shit.
Say it. Don't just
Okay.
read it to yourself and say that's some
Okay,
shit.
so he has like a resale business called West Coast Streetwear.
Yes.
Where he registered under Anne's name.
Who's his mom.
Yeesh, which is his mother. Yes, the reseller insisted to the story's author that his personal connection to Nike executive not be written about in the ooh shit. Okay, so basically he was trying to be a snake about it.
No, here's what I started seeing and hearing about.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things because she doesn't get fired, she resigns.
She
And
resigned.
technically Nike
did say there was no conflict of interest that
They
happened.
said-
It just looks bad.
they just said, yeah, this looks wild because he was basically using the credit card.
Right.
Of
and her
her-
customer
Yeah, because it
discount.
says right here that it was not a violation of the company's policies.
So look,
He was using her employee discount at Nike outlets.
Right.
yeah. So let's just say. So here's what he would also get. There was also insider information allegedly in the sense that he would get special information,
Right.
knowing that a popular model was going to go on sale for a significant amount.
Yeah.
So then after it goes on sale for a significant amount, he then uses his mom's 40% discount on top of that on a mass scale to buy all these shoes. So let's just say it was like a $120 shoe and now he's getting it for like $40 with all that shit.
Yeah.
Then he's selling it for like retail and making all that money.
Kids,
you know what I'm saying?
kid's smart, but kid's a fucking idiot at the same time.
I think
He
kid's
fucked
smart.
himself and
No,
his
I
mom.
think the kid's smart. The mom was just careless
Yeah.
because the mom should have been like, at least use your dad's card
Or some shit.
or some. Oh, don't use my discount. Like, yo, don't use my
Right.
discount. You know.
So what the fuck? Okay, so the Bloomberg story sparked outrage online, obviously, because a bunch of sneakerheads are like, what the fuck, man? Right?
Because that gets into the whole thing about resellers and like if the reselling industry
It's
is technically supposed to be, in all actuality, separate completely
Yeah.
from the retail business.
Exactly. So Nike's not supposed to partake in resale.
So when there's things
But
like
technically, Nike wasn't partaking in this and
Well,
these matters. It was
well-
the kid.
what was it, Adidas or one of these big companies just recently put a large one of these put a large chunk of investing money into the GOAT app.
Oh yeah, I think it was New Balance. They were
So-
talking about it on the sneaker podcast. I know
So
exactly what
when,
you're talking
when
about.
you
Yeah.
think about that kind of stuff, you wonder, like, is it, how different is it? Are they walking hand in hand? And here's where it comes down to it, all in all, for me, is does this benefit or hurt the consumer?
Well,
Jeez.
okay, honestly, in this particular case, we see. All right, so this is just a case of, it's just like anything. It's who you know. This kid just happens to have a mom that works for Nike, gets a good discount.
That's a
But
VP.
here's the thing.
Yes,
I don't
and
think the outrage would have been as large if his mom just worked at the store. I think he could have
No,
done
of
it and
course
no one
not.
would have cared. But it's the fact that she was a VP and there's pictures of him with like in a warehouse and he's got all these like off-white Jordan. Was it Jordan?
Poly Jordan 4s.
Yeah. It was like the black pair with like the hole right there.
Yeah,
And then
that's the four.
allegedly he has 4 or 5 pairs of the Air Mags.
So
Okay.
So then it's like-
yeah, that's what I was reading
Yeah.
right here. The problem is he has So someone brought up the fact that he bought 6 pairs of rare Nike mags, and
That's like for anybody, that's
Anybody
the
who-
grail of their collection. That's usually
Yeah.
the centerpiece.
And for those who
of their
don't know what
entire
this
closet.
what the shoe is, it's the shoe from Back to the Future.
right.
that self laces.
Yeah.
And there are actual self-lacing pairs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the
So-
second release.
second
Yeah, the
release
second
was
release
a
was a
self-
self-lacing
yeah.
pair. Okay. So that's the issue at hand. It's stuff like that he's getting these really rare shoes at a heavily discounted price and then selling them for an outrageous amount.
And
because that's what
consumers-
reselling is.
Yeah.
That's what reselling is it's like, okay, I have a shoe that you can't have. Supply and demand, that's how that works. You want it? Cool. Pay a lot of fucking money for it then, you know?
Yeah.
So, do we think that it was a good idea on her part to resign?
Yes, because then it would have led to discrepancies.
I feel like if
But can we also say
I don't. This is all allegedly, by the way.
Right.
Because you could say maybe he got like those Air Mags. Like people like we said, that's the grail of grails. Like you might own one pair, maybe.
Kid had 6.
Dude had 6. So like, how did he come across 6? We don't know. It doesn't say. But if she resigned, it probably wasn't gonna look good.
All right, but can we also say then, is it pussy in the sense of like, you know, when a mass killer is about to get caught and they kill themselves?
Oh,
That's
And so like they don't have to see
Yeah, I mean,
justice. No, there's never gonna be a real resolution.
But
We're
the
never
thing
gonna get
is,
true closure.
here's the thing. Morally, it was wrong. According to company policy, there was no problems. But
I mean,
Yes,
can we say that that's like the
yes.
same way like tax shit with government?
yes.
Billionaires with taxes.
yeah.
Right.
They didn't break any policies, but is it right?
No, it's not
Yeah,
right by
yeah.
any means. But Nike wouldn't have fired her for this. Maybe there would have been.
I think they would have had
dug
to.
up and found.
No, I think they would have had
eventually,
to.
'cause
If
I
it
feel
would have
like
went down that road,
would've-
people would have attacked her and started asking her all these questions. Anytime she spoke or said anything, people would be like, "Oh yeah, but your son's selling all these." Like nothing
Yeah,
would
exactly.
have ever been able to be the right way.
So
for
they
her.
eventually would have had to fire her. So I mean, I guess she made the smart move and resigned. But at the same time, it's just kind of like it's just a shitty situation that she didn't want to be in.
I feel I honestly can't blame the kid for doing it because obviously
Well, no.
he's got a good
Take every
business-
oppority that you have. That's the thing.
But the thing
like,
is,
at the
this
same
is I
time-
feel like this is more on the mom. Like you're the adult on the situation, both parents, not just
But
the mom.
also, how old is the kid? The kid's an
19
adult.
years old. He's 19 years old. So
yeah,
he knows
but
better.
at 19,
I don't know if you know better, but
You don't know
should
better.
have more accountability.
Right.
Because
No,
what
for sure.
accountability are we giving the kid? All the accountability of everything is falling on the mom because we're blaming
But
her.
also,
it's-
it's because
at the same time, it's her
at the
kid.
same time, she's the one that raised him. Like,
Right.
you know, you get that from your parents. If your parents don't tell you, "Hey, this is wrong. This is going to make me look bad," and explain to them why it's a conflict of interest, because at 19, I didn't really know what conflict of interest was. You know, so I feel like that's more on the parents in the sense of like they should have told him, "Hey, this could look bad, and this is why we don't do this." And it's cool that you want to have a resale business, like, and then go about it that way. But I feel like it just got too sticky too fast. You
So
know?
this brings up an interesting thing because here's where you say the way that they're raised and putting it on the parents to a degree. Here's where that can get a little murky in this sense. You see this with a lot of rich kids where they don't understand the value of a dollar because their parents have so much money and they just give them whatever they want. When your mom is a VP for Nike, do you know the real value of shoes? Do you know the real value of what this means to an average consumer? Because you guys are just getting boxes all the time. You're seeing all these releases. You're seeing what's going on the inside. You're basing the market value on what you are seeing on StockX, so what that market value is, not on the value of what you got it for, because what you got it for is not its value.
Yeah.
So when you see things in that light and when you're dealing with things in that way, do you really know the value of what this is truly to people? In the sense of like a dollar, because when we're seeing shoes like this and we're talking about the resale market and we look at things like StockX, it's literally like a stock. It's the market. You get this, you bought it at this, you managed to get this investment at this point, and now it's 3 times, 4 times as much depending on how the market is running at the time.
Yeah.
So like for them, they're probably thinking like, look, I'm making good investment decisions. I'm able to buy this at this point in essence legally. And then the market's going to do its job. And so I'm just looking at the market.
Well-
when you look at stocks, you don't look at it in the same way as you look at your real money that you're making hard working from like hour to hour.
And here's because also listening to like the Complex Sneaker podcast, like they were just talking about this. Apparently, the dad helped there's like the kid set up the LLC.
Yeah. But I mean,
So
of
then-
course the dad would do that. I mean,
No,
that's
no.
kind of like,
Oh yeah, like of course, like if you're like that's where you get but that's where it should have been like, hey son, like if you're gonna do this, don't do XYZ or put the card use my credit card so it doesn't look like
yeah.
All I'm gonna
I honestly
say,
feel
only
to be
thing I'd
real-
like to add is this is another example, and because this is a joke it's an ongoing joke in the fashion industry and in the streetwear industry. Kid is using mommy's credit card to buy expensive clothes.
I mean, yeah.
when it comes down to
Little
it,
fucking
that's what he
squeak
was.
is using mommy's credit card instead of doing it with his hard-earned cash.
Which I think is the way that you even get good style. Notice more than likely when you see it, every person who has got a lot of money and has got like expensive clothes does not know how to wear it.
No, it usually just looks like throw up.
It does not have style because you can't buy good taste.
Yeah. You know what I want to do? I want to put a rule on myself. Just one, because like I am on the frugal side of things, even though I like expensive things.
Do it.
Or Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Honestly, you're way better with money than the average Hispanic, than the average Mexican in general.
Thank you. But
I mean, think about it. I think if you look at it stereotypically, we're not good with money. Usually, like we're not known for being good with money. We're known for, like you've mentioned before, parents use their kids as retirement plans. That's their 401k.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of kids and that's their 401k.
Yeah. And I'm gonna put all my eggs in that basket. Yeah. So I want to have this thing to myself where it's like I'm not spending more than $100 on shoes. I don't know how long it'll last.
That's not. I mean,
realistic.
what, you're gonna buy Vans and Converse? That's
Pretty
it?
much.
You can buy those like Reeboks Classics.
And you can maybe buy.
Okay,
you can't buy a pair of New Balances.
There is a pair.
you cannot buy a pair of New
There is a pair of Reeboks that I do want.
Can you at least do it like 120? 120 is
I
average.
think 120 is what I'll actually cap off, because also when you add taxes to some of these shoes, it does end up being like a little bit.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to do like 150 with tax. But like I get you, and I feel that, and that's probably like a good place to stay in. But
Is it realistic? I don't know. We'll see.
I think it can be, but you may just have to make exceptions when something really. Did y'all see that Stussy Hirachi?
Yes.
I think it's hard as
I
fuck.
slept through the drop. I'm so sad.
It was so cool looking.
But apparently it's not reselling for a lot. I think.
I don't care. I just think the shoe looks
no.
cool.
I'm saying the reason I'm saying that is because I think like it didn't actually sell out like that. Like I think the forces were more coveted than the Hirachi, and I think that sneakers. Remember the one you took me, the one on City Center?
Oh,
I think they have it for retail
Social
price.
Status?
Social status. I think they have it for retail right now.
Shouts out Social Status, by the way.
shouts out
Shouts out
social status.
Support your local businesses.
Yeah, for real. The ones we got here. Shouts out. What do we? I mean, there's Sneaker Summit for sure. Shouts out Sneaker
Speaking of
Summit.
local legends,
Proper.
Yeah.
proper. Let's get into this. Mr.
All right.
fucking Watt getting out of here. He's getting out of Houston. He's getting out of the H. But we got some statistics here. We've got some numbers.
All right.
We've got some numbers that I'd really like to talk about. So we all know, obviously, since we're talking about it, we all know he's moving to the Cardinals. He's no longer with the Texans. Okay, big deal.
R.I.P.
Because we thought that he was going to be a forever Texan.
Yeah.
He did a lot for the community. It wasn't anything against Houston. It was against the organization.
It's sad because you could tell that he wanted to be a forever Texan.
Yeah. No, he loved Houston.
Yeah.
He probably still does.
So before we get into it, go ahead and run us through these stats.
Okay. So we're seeing here that with the Texans, his cap number, he's capping, as a rookie. Okay, actually, no. In 2014, his cap number was $4.5 million in 2014. And with the Cardinals, his cap number will be $4.9 million.
Okay.
So,
Jay-Z moves.
yeah, he's losing money, but what is he gaining out of this is my question to you guys.
All right.
What is he gain? I mean, obviously, okay, so we know who else is the Cardinals. We know Mr. Hopkins is the Cardinals.
Potential ring, maybe?
And I think that's why he's taking the cut. That's why he's taking the pay
like
cut.
a real Super Bowl, like a real chance at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think
Possibly.
so. I honestly think so because obviously we see with the Texans organization that we kind of screw ourselves over every year.
And also, like, if you see the way Watt is, he's not really like a money person. I feel like it's like, all right, money, I got it. Let me just get the ring.
That's
and
what
then
he's
let's
in
see,
for.
And then let's see and then we'll see what happens from there. Maybe you come back to Houston. I don't know.
I don't know if he'll come back to Houston.
I'm hoping it's I'm definitely hoping it's an Andre Johnson type of situation. It's like, all right, we got to let you free because you got to get your ring.
All right. So there's a lot of things where, for one, like you said, I don't really think that Watt cares much about the money as much. I mean, who knows? I don't know his personal life, but what I do
Allegedly.
know, is
From
that
what we see.
he seems to, for one,
He's more of a humble person.
more about loyalty and
Yeah.
the team, and which is why I think he stuck with Houston for so long. But at a certain point,
It
Enough
had
is
to
enough.
give.
and here's who I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be real with you, and I'm upset about it for sure.
Well,
But-
who isn't?
But the people that I feel the worst for, HEB, man.
Who are they gonna have in their commercials, bro?
HEB and Watt have been the power couple
Yeah.
of the past few years.
Now,
Does HEB have to open in Arizona now?
I'm saying they may have to expand for the sake of JJ Watt.
okay, so
JJ Watt, he's the only person, him
Yo.
and Watson are the only people that I hear from the Texans anyone else talk about. And everyone wants Watt. Everyone just casually, I was listening to a podcast with Deion Sanders on it,
okay.
and he was saying that he wants to see Watt. I don't know if he was saying with the Cardinals, but hearing like these legends being like, yo, I would love to see Watt come to this team and win a ring.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people were expecting to happen. What a lot of people were expecting to happen is he was going to go with his brothers.
That would have been
That would've been
interesting.
That was a talk for a little bit.
Honestly, that only
I feel
is
like that
good
just looks cool,
for-
but
it only
yeah.
it only looks cool and is only good for Watt. But I'm not gonna lie, when Watt's on a team like that, he's just gonna overshadow his siblings, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's so much better than his siblings.
Like, so it's kind of like. Plus, imagine how confusing that'd be.
Yeah.
Look at Watt with the this. Oh, look at Watt with the this.
Can you imagine being
one?
blitzed, like watching the show, like, oh man, is it just one guy throwing the ball to himself?
right?
Okay,
So
so
yeah, I feel bad for HEB. I think it's gonna be
Shout out HEB, the second week in a row.
the different. I mean, the who are they gonna have?
Well, they
Deshaun Watson.
had some of the Astros on
No, I don't. I mean,
commercials.
but who cares?
Now who cares?
Especially we lost our best looking dude.
You're really sad about that.
Dude, I'm upset.
Yeah.
That was the reason I was watching sports.
You know, it happens. We'll see what the season started
Zen
again.
only
We'll see what it is.
Zen only watches sports where you can find attractive young men. That's why I was like, why are you watching hockey? He's like,
I've been getting really into UFC and boxing because they shirtless.
That's cute.
I'm saying there's a UFC match tonight. Y'all don't even know about it because y'all ain't that gay.
I mean,
Are you flexing your gayness?
I'm saying y'all didn't know about it. Y'all fake gay.
all I'm gonna say is I've never seen Zen watch women's soccer, ever.
I think that's just sexist.
Nah,
It could be.
I don't watch the WNBA either.
Again, I think
Because it's just a bunch of fucking lesbians running around everywhere, dude.
But I will watch some women's UFC. Why? Because they look
fucking
animalistic,
hopped up on hormones,
braided up,
boys.
and if I close my eyes, it may not seem like a woman. I'm just saying, dog.
You know, put a fucking strap on.
It is
her.
what it is.
you might not believe it, but Zen is actually married to a woman.
It is what it is. Okay, she's aware. We've discussed this. It's fine.
She's fucking pegging him in the ass. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Hey, it's just good to have some openness in the relationship.
All right.
Some room to
Anyway,
breathe.
Only thing that's open in y'all's relationship is your asshole.
I'm saying
okay,
sometimes
all right.
when I be farting, it's just like
we're done with that. All right. So, on to our next thing.
So wrapping up Watt, how do y'all feel? Y'all good? Y'all gonna be all right?
I mean,
I'm honestly so because we go to these tailgates and we go to all these games.
Yeah,
it's
you
just
guys are
making
more-
me, it's making me so unmotivated
All-
for the next season.
all it sucks is I fucking bought a $130 Watt jersey at a fucking game, assuming that he would stick around.
So 2
And
weeks
there goes
ago,
that.
2 weeks ago, we've been meaning to talk about this for a minute. 2 weeks ago on this podcast, I wore a Watt jersey, prepared to talk about it, and fucking forgot.
Yeah.
So that happened 2 weeks.
But
in a
that's
row.
when he was in his free agency.
Yeah, so it's good to come back around when we finally know where he's going and kind of part him off right. I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna miss him for sure, and the Texans are gonna suck for a hot minute. Not like we
Yeah.
haven't already, but if
But just- it's
the
just gonna
Texans
get worse.
already like have not been doing good, and now
Yeah.
we're in a rebuilding stage,
Yeah.
this is gonna be rough.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, man, it's sad. R.I.P. He's not dead, but you know,
But I mean, you know,
I do. At least he left with grace. Because
Yeah, for sure.
Harden, bro, that was bad.
We
Yeah,
still have,
it's
but we
been-
do still have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
but
Wow, how are you gonna
he's
get
trying
shot
to-
twice?
He's trying to bounce.
Yeah.
So bad. And then if they do keep him, he's not gonna be motivated to do shit.
Yeah.
No, because all of his friends are leaving.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, what's next on the chopping block for us, boys?
We've got. This is a funny one.
I thought this was a joke, and it's actually on the site.
Zombie Preparedness. The Walking Dead has taken over the fucking world, dude. Because
It's not a good show.
It's not. Thank you.
So this whole thing is all
Finally,
cap.
somebody that agrees with me that Walking Dead fucking sucks needs to get the hell out of here. You guys are overplaying it. Georgia sucks too. Get the fuck out of here.
Who?
Georgia. That's where it's filmed, I believe.
Don't be talking about Georgia like that. We'll get into Georgia in a little bit later today. But with this, it's all cap. The CDC is trying to gain clout. What they're really doing is if you read the CDC thing,
Okay.
it's basically just telling you that it was like a campaign where they would put zombie preparedness so that you'd be like, oh, what the fuck? Look at it, and then it just takes you to preparedness guides, and then it just teaches you how to be prepared for disasters.
You know what's kind of funny?
Wow, they have to really dumb us down and clickbait us.
Exactly. They
That's sad.
clickbaited
Wait,
us.
hold on. That just tells you like that society as a whole is just like so stupid.
Read that. Does it not say that?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't
Okay,
give you much information
so
other than the fucking
Here's the
resources
thing.
after that.
Here's the thing. Are we still as stupid as we were in the 50s where like political propaganda is fucking working on us? It's like, this, big letters, scary stuff, communism, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then it's like, oh, this is the reality of it all. These are all the policies that lie behind the curtain of this bullshit.
Did you like, I don't know if you know about it, or there was this, so before there was like science fiction on like storytelling on the radio, I forgot his name, but it was called The War of the Worlds, where basically this guy was talking about a fake alien invasion, and people like thought it was real because all that would come on the radio was actual news.
Right.
No one knew this was an actual just like storytelling time.
Okay.
So I feel like, I don't know, man. I think we're just kind of dumb and like.
Well, here's what it is.
Or there's also like this whole conspiracy thing where it's like people are believing like wild stuff, and the only way they'll get true information is by you like putting out like a crazy line. So you go to it, and then it's like, oh no, here's
because people don't give a fuck.
Well, here's
Nobody
what it
cares
is.
about like what we actually need to care about. It's just the
Whatever-
reality of it. Go ahead.
The lie in everything, for the most part, is more entertaining than the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So for most people, and this is the reason I sound like a broken record. It's what's going on with like social media and like cancel culture and everything, where basically anytime someone gets accused of something or gets told something, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. If it's entertaining enough, that's what people run with and go with. And then the second that someone clears it up and says, hey, yo, we actually looked into this, is cap.
Yeah.
It's cap.
So the
no
lie
one cares about that.
Yeah.
They just saw the first one, and that's what they care about.
The lie seems to be more entertaining than the reality, and the lie is what you use as a headline to get people to read the rest. So it's like,
But that says
Kanye
more-
fucked Jeffree Star. It's like, wait a second, no.
That says more
It's
about
like, no, they just hung out one weekend.
And
that
now
just says
Kim
more
and Kanye
about
getting a
us.
divorce, by the way.
that just says more about us than it does about like, because you could blame them for baiting us, but at some point we also have to take responsibility in being like, what's in me that makes that more appealing to me.
Andrew Schultz had said it with his monologue, the first one, where he was basically joking about 6ix9ine being the best presidential candidate because us as Americans want entertainment all the time for free all the time.
Right.
That's all we want. We want to be on Twitter and get entertained to the point where everything that we're going to be doing is for entertainment, and that's how we end up with someone like Trump. Because it's what we, like he said, quote unquote, deserve. Because it's what we're always looking for. We're not looking for the best person for the job. We're looking for the most entertaining person to see do the job.
I'd like to talk about I'd like to talk about the only person, at least in the state of Texas, that deserves to be in a wheelchair. Greg Abbott.
Are you really going to spray him for that?
It's just mean.
No.
Okay,
I think
now is it mean? Let's go into that.
Is it mean or is it
mean?
truthful?
No. Is it mean for us to make fun of Greg Abbott for the fact that he can't move? Or is it mean for him to put the entire state of Texas, one of the biggest states, actually the biggest state in the entire country, second biggest state in the entire country, to get murdered by this invisible enemy? and make us not be able to move? Now,
think
I'm
he's
going to go
just
ahead and
jealous.
say it. Greg Abbott, you my boy. Mask off, future plan.
No.
All next week.
No.
Okay?
No.
So, March 10th, Roman's birthday, the day that he becomes an adult,
I can take my fucking mask off.
is also the day
that I become free.
nah, that dead ass this country finna reduce by at least 13%.
And here's
Fuck
the
it.
thing.
Just to round it off for Roman, the state's gonna lose its population by 18%.
Here's the thing that I'd like to say.
But then Californians will come in and make up that 18%.
We have to do what Greg Abbott can't. We have to stand up for our freedom of choice.
Oh, now
Our freedom of choice to wear the fucking mask. Because Mr. Abbott cannot do that, sir. Because his legs don't fucking work.
now conservatives
So-
want people to have freedom of choice.
There you go.
So
Stand up for your rights, Greg Abbott.
They said my body, my choice.
Greg Abbott don't
Is that
have a
what
choice. All I have
conservatives
to say
is that what conservatives are saying?
now, with that, we see that they're basically putting this, which is what truly a lot of people wanted from the beginning, which was I don't want the government telling, and this is a Texas state of mind thing.
Right.
I don't want the government telling me what to do. I don't mind if a company tells me what to do, but I don't want the government doing it.
But that's so cap. For instance, me and my fiance, as you guys know, we're getting married. We went to a Specs. Well, first we went to a Total Wine. We're looking at like best ways to have alcohol for the wedding. What's comparing prices, whatever.
I don't know why. I just want, before you go into what you're going into, I don't know why you chose Specs over Total Wine. Total Wine is the Walmart of alcohol, and they will match any price of anywhere else.
No,
You can
I
mainly
know.
get
Like
it
Greg
lower
Abbott and sit your
at
broke ass down. Pablo,
fucking-
speak.
Total Wine is the best place. Don't ever go to any other alcoholic place,
No,
period.
I like Total Wine better. We like Total Wine better, but you just have to look just cause. On principle, you got to look. We were also looking for something else aside from just like price and things like that. We're looking for a specific item that Total Wine didn't have, so that's why we were at Specs.
That's cap,
anyway.
but go ahead. They have
Anyway,
everything.
we're at the Specs, and these guys try to walk in without a mask, and the guy's like, "Hey, y'all can't come in without mask," and they throw a whole fit and get angry and like come back in with like a shirt over their face, and then the guy's like, "Whatever, I guess." But see, it's that thing where it's like, if businesses start doing that, it starts still being like, "Hey, we don't care what the government said. We're still gonna have you like 6 feet apart. We're only having these many people in here." You still have to wear a mask. People are still going to be like, well, but why? Because the government said.
So here's where it's going to go down to, and this is where I think the fucked up thing where it happens, and it's.
So
here's where the issue is. Truly,
because this whole thing where it's like, if businesses say it, then I'll be okay with it. You're capping. You're still not going to be okay with it.
no, and I'll tell you why you won't. Because once the company gets a choice, and the way that everything's been run under this issue, immediately, as bad as it is to say this, the second that the company makes their decision,
Right.
they're telling you where they stand on the political spectrum.
And that sucks. It really does.
So if you say no mask, all the Republicans are going to be like, yo, I fuck with this company. They fuck with me. They're on my right shit. That's what's up. And then if you say, yo, to be honest, like we still don't think that the government said that, but we still don't think that it's right yet. We still want to help these people and be like, you
fucking
liberal
cucks.
motherfuckers.
Now here's where I've been thinking, and I think this is going to be the deciding line where Chick-fil-A is going to have to once again draw a line in the sand and say this is where we stand. Because here's the thing. Chick-fil-A is all about their employees. That's their whole thing is we care about you, we care about our employees. But they're also very conservative. So are they going to lift the mask mandate?
No, because they haven't even had indoor dining this whole time.
Exactly.
Right.
So what's that going to say to these conservatives?
They're just going to say, yo, we're trying to keep everybody. It's still Chick-fil-A is Chick-fil-A. And it doesn't matter because here's the thing. They can say whatever, do whatever then. And then people will be like, man, you liberal. Will be like, yo, we still don't like gay people. Okay.
Because
That's
Chick-fil-A
cool.
is not
That's
going to.
cool. We still straight.
Chick-fil-A is not going to lift the mask man because they're pro-life. That's just what it is.
So what you're saying is be a true pro-life person and wear a mask?
There you go. If you wear your mask, you're pro-life. And all I'm saying is I'm putting on my damn mask.
Yeah.
Putting on my fucking mask because I'm pro-life.
I do love all these. I do love the like the whole like it should be it's my body, so it's my choice thing. And I'm like, interested. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
No, it is very interesting. And you're right. This is one of those sticky situations. But me personally, I'm taking my mask off because I like Future, and this just is what it is. Okay, I respect my government, and if my government tells me that I'm going to be safe without my mask, then fuck it, boys. We're leaving masks in 2020.
So next week I'm gonna Zoom my way in this podcast. I'm not actually gonna be here.
I'm just saying, dog.
Also, he's capping. He's gonna wear a mask. He's just trying to put this like
He's
persona.
not wearing the fucking mask. If you wear your mask, you're a fucking pussy. You're
Let's
a
be
fucking
real.
Pussy if you're wearing your mask.
Let's be real. I don't even know if I own a mask.
Oh my god, he's kidding.
What's a fucking mask?
Mask.
You know, those motherfuckers, those yellow guys, they're fucking, because that's where the masks are made. They're made in fucking,
Wait, what did you say?
those little fucking Simpson looking motherfuckers, dude. They're
We're just gonna stop him there.
The masks are made.
We're going to our next topic.
The masks are
Okay,
made in
so-
China.
so-
The masks are made in China. They're dipping them in the fucking coronavirus, shipping them to the fucking United States, trying to
And
get
that's
us
what it
fucking
is.
bid.
And so if we're going to get into that, you said you want to get into another topic, and that's fine.
yes,
I get it. I get it.
boys.
I get it. Sometimes it is what it is. And it's we let's just close this by saying that we're not wearing
Nope,
masks.
I'm wearing a mask.
Speaking of yellow motherfuckers,
If you're wearing a mask,
Oh my
you're a
God.
pussy. And speaking of the yellow people,
Oh my god.
my boy Dr. Seuss.
Mr. Seuss.
Bro, I grew up on Seuss.
I know. I learned how to read in English because of Dr. Seuss.
And so,
right.
I didn't even know that eggs were anything
Other
than
green.
yellow
It's green.
until Dr. Seuss. Because then I had met them green eggs, and I was like, oh, these is the ones? Mm-hmm. That's when I started eating ham and eggs. That's what started my ham and egg craze.
Zen was out here like green eggs and spam.
Real talk. But with all that being said, real quick, Dr. Seuss, our boy, give us a little bit of
The
information.
best
on what
rapper
they're
that has
saying.
ever lived.
Real
Bars.
talk.
Bars. I do not like green eggs and ham, Sam I am.
Real talk. And he be Sam, because what is his real name?
Huh?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. I don't know
Who
what his real
cares?
name was.
Ain't it Sam something?
I don't know, man. Who cares what his real name was? He's Dr. Seuss.
The horse he runs, he clicks and clacks. Mr. Dr. Seuss doesn't like the blacks. So,
An actual line from one of these books. So read us a little bit about
in
what's going
summer of
on.
1936, Theodore Gesell,
AKA Dr. Seuss.
a.k.a. Dr. Motherfucker Seuss, was on a ship. Oh, go back to where you came from, motherfucker. From Europe.
Oh, I was going to say, we brought him here on a ship? I'm like, do we owe him an apology? Anyways, he came on a ship from Europe.
From Europe to New York when he started scribbling silly little rhymes on the ship's stationery to entertain himself. You could have done other things to entertain yourself, brothers, all I got to say. And this is a story that no one can beat. I saw it all happen on Mulberry Street.
Oh, and that's where. So I saw it all happen on Mulberry Street. One of the books is getting popped off.
What did you see happen on Mulberry Street is my question.
Hey, can we be real that if this is, all right, so let's just kind of go ahead and read us this outline and we can really get into it. So go ahead and read.
I saw it all happen on Mulberry Street. The rhymes morphed into his first children's book. And to think that I saw him standing on the corner of Mulberry Street. No, I'm kidding.
Now, go through and read us at least. There's 6 books that are being pulled off the shelves, and read us those 6 books.
Okay.
See if you can find the list of the 6 books and what their imageries are. What it is that they're getting removed for.
I see 4 here.
Okay, what are those
Right
for?
off the bat. If I ran a zoo. If I ran the zoo.
Okay.
And to think I saw it all happen on Mulberry Street. On, beyond, zebra, and McElliot's pool
Okay.
are 4 of the 6. I think green eggs and ham is one of them, is it not?
No, it's not.
No,
Is
it's
it
not.
not? Oh,
No.
okay.
All the big ones like that, green eggs and a ham, them hoes.
Cat in the Hat.
Horton
The
Hears a Who or
Grinch.
whatever. None of them hoes.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
the
Just
Lorax.
the ones.
I don't know. Think about it though. I think Cat in the Hat should be pulled from the shelves. You know, like what's up, brother? Cat in the Hat. You know, like the cat, like those. You know, those guys,
No.
the pimps with the fancy hats.
Read
with
us
the
what's going
feathers.
on.
Okay, I'm just saying, dude. It's a little bit racist, but who am I to speak?
Read us the
It's
shit.
about a boy who witnesses increasingly outlandish things. First published in 1937, the book started Dr. Seuss's career. He went on to publish more than 60 books, sold some 700 million copies globally. That's it? I thought it would be more than that. Making him one of the most enduringly popular children's book authors. Okay? But some aspects of Seuss's work have not aged well, including this debut, which features a crude racial stereotype of an Asian man with slanted lines for eyes. Mulberry Street was one of 6 of the... Oh, okay, so it was 6 books. Was one of his 6 books that the Seuss estate said it would stop selling this week. So what do we do? What's the...
Well, here's the thing. So this came out so long ago, right? Where
Yeah.
things were different, and I
30s.
understand that.
It came out in the 30s.
I understand that.
It's hard to
things
look
were
at it
different.
with today's eyes
But
in
Yeah.
that time period.
one
know.
thing
Yeah.
that has been brought up by you and by other people is like, what about all these older things that should be judged by that standard too? Like, what is the standard that we are judging by now? What is it that people get offended by, and what is it, right? So you look
Yeah.
at Disney
Okay.
specifically that you say had so many inappropriate things before. Now with the surfacing of Disney Plus, they're rebringing back a lot of these shows, these movies, these things that we saw from back then. But what they're doing is before they show a movie or show or whatever that may be problematic, they put a notice saying that when this was created, there was these things under these like guidelines that people felt were okay, and times have changed, and that's not what people look at as acceptable anymore.
Right.
But we are, instead of removing the imagery or removing the things that may be,
Reminding you that the times were different.
we're showing you this as it was for us to know that that's what things were like in this context. I mean, in that time
Yeah.
period, and we can learn and progress and
Yeah.
do better from that.
Yeah.
So Disney is doing stuff being like, look, we understand this is fucked up, but we're putting this notice to let you know that we understand and we know, and we're hoping that good conversations spark from
created.
this
Yeah.
and make us better in the entertainment field. So I like that approach because it's being like, yo, we get it. We understand you can be upset, but instead of changing it and acting like history didn't happen, because
Yeah.
imagine,
it's very real. Like
imagine, I mean, it is
if
history.
if we were to pretend like it didn't happen, where's the lesson?
What about if we took the Holocaust out of the history books because it's a little offensive?
Wild. Nobody would know, and there would be no awareness to it.
It's things like that like,
And-
can you really be removing things from history?
You can't.
Yeah.
and think
Sometimes
about
things
it
in
like-
history are fucked up, but it's good for us to look back and see
That's
that.
how you learn. If you don't learn history, history repeats itself.
So
Think about it now, but you have to think about it also from now. It's like there's a lot of things I'm sure that we do now as a society that people aren't going to agree with in the future. You know what I'm saying?
So with
it's
these
like-
books, though, do we think that they should be pulled off the 6? There's hella books that he has, and they only said, "Yo, out of how many books did you say he had published?"
Oh shit!
It was a wild amount. Now
It was hold on.
hundreds, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of books.
And so for out of those
And, I mean,
hundreds of books,
To think about
for
the ti-
6 of them,
And they were
yeah.
written in the 30s.
do we think that they should? Because to me personally, especially because these were books that no one really cared about.
I feel
Are we bringing more attention to them now and making people want to go and find these books in a used place, or make people want to? Because once you remove something, it's like the whole economy of words thing, where there's a supply and demand. If a word is taboo, it feels like people want to use it more because they can't. So if people can't read these books and buy these books, is it going to make it to where people need to go find this book somewhere else just to kind of know the history and to feel like they're not getting things hidden from them? Because that's a big thing about America. We don't like things being hidden from us.
but it's also like they're a company, so they can choose to,
But are they? It's his estate. It's not a company.
Or whatever.
It's his
like if it's
estate.
if it's the family saying like again,
The granddaughter said she doesn't agree with them
So
bringing the books down. But some people may also say, do the family members even get to have a say in that because it's not their art?
That is true.
As an artist, does someone else get to make decisions on your art?
I think of like other stuff like books like Huckleberry Finn that was written by a white man
Catcher
and
in the Rye and stuff like that.
well, no, Huckleberry Finn has an N word, and it was written by a white guy.
So is To Kill a Mockingbird,
Yeah.
and it has the N word multiple times.
So I was actually having a conversation with one of my my black friends where he was telling me about that. We were listening to someone discuss the Dr. Seuss thing, and in his perspective, he's like, okay, so like if you're gonna pull that off for being racist, then you got to pull Huckleberry Finn off. You got to pull this. You got to pull all these things off that people are gonna say are racist. What's like, he didn't agree as a black man and as somebody who could be affected by this and be offended by this.
Exactly.
That
And it's like,
we should be pulling things out of history and off the
I think
shelf.
it'd be cool if they instead added that disclaimer to the books, like in the first cover
so
page.
here's the thing.
Yeah. But then you have to think about, I mean, you can make the same argument for Disney. This is for kids. Are kids really going to be understanding what that even means?
No, they're not. And the thing is, you have to, because this actually shows people. Because
But then is it creating negative stereotypes for kids?
That's what I'm saying. So when you read these books coming up, that's what taught you how to read in the English language. And if you're also looking at these pictures and you're in a new country being like, okay, so this is how you read in English. Okay, and so this is how Asian people are. Okay, and this is how black people are. If you're really looking at it in that impressionable mind state, I can see why they can think that that's not in everyone's best interest. But this has been out since 1930.
it also shows the growth in our society.
The
obviously,
fishes
because
one. Huh? What's that one called? Green fish, blue fish.
one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. That's my favorite Dr.
boy,
Seuss book.
When he says, when I saw that shit, my boy, when I saw one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, I thought Dr. Seuss was gangbanging.
God damn it.
Well, what's up? What happened?
So the thing I ultimately think is it shows our social evolution.
Yeah.
That's really what it does, because it's like, all right, this is acceptable back then, but we realize now that this is no longer acceptable, and this is what literature looks like now. We see with things like with books that have evolved.
Okay.
So what we see is like classics back then are totally different from classics now. To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic, and it says the N-word multiple times.
So sometimes I wonder, do you have to have racism for it to be a classic? What's a classic now?
A classic now is like,
What's a modern day classic?
I would say a modern day classic, and
I'm not into books like that. I
The
don't
Fault in
know.
Our Stars will definitely be a book that will live for a very long time.
And that's kind of pussy. Like, it's a nice story. It's a nice story and all,
Exactly.
but it's pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we learning from that?
I ain't gonna cap.
How to be nice to cancer patients? Don't we know that?
I ain't gonna.
You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie. I cried when I saw the movie the first time. I ain't even gonna lie.
Okay, and now I get that. Ain't it kind of pussy though? Still, not that you
Probably.
tearing up, but like the movie itself, kind of pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, what, The Notebook? Was that a book first or a
So-
movie first?
Overall, it shows the evolution of the
Oh.
pussification of society. That's what
Harry
it shows.
Potter.
All right, it's transphobic. So
Oh, why was that transphobic again?
because she's transphobic and she started saying like, yo, I don't agree with this or
I thought it
believe
was
in
something
this.
in the book.
And then she made a whole other transphobic book.
Right.
Like after she literally made like a book where the trans person is trying to like kill somebody, but because they're trans, it was some transphobic ass book.
Oh,
So that's the thing is, in order for someone to be a genius in literature and give us some classics, do they gotta be a little problematic?
I don't know.
I mean,
Yo, I think
a
it's
way.
I think it's funny that like people think Shakespeare is like this huge like classical thing, but he had a bunch of like penis jokes and like gay jokes.
I mean,
You just don't get it. You just don't understand them because it's written in like that weird English.
Shakespearean
Yeah.
language.
Yeah. But if you like break it down, he had like a bunch of like dick
jokes.
jokes. Yeah.
hey, I mean, is he the one that started dick jokes?
Yo,
Maybe.
that's possible.
The Shakespearean dick jokes.
Because he was talking about the size of his sword.
Yo. Now, did he explain his sword size being big or small?
I don't remember. This is such a long time ago. I don't know.
I'm just saying, dog. Sometimes.
I just remember that movie Romeo and Juliet with Leo DiCaprio.
I hate that one. It's a terrible Romeo and Juliet movie.
No, it is. But their outfits, though.
The fits are cool, but like the...
No. I'm not even listening to what's going on. It's a horrible movie.
It made me so mad watching it.
It's a bad movie.
To me, it was a waste of casting Leonardo DiCaprio.
But the outfits, though.
And did you see that was the first time they tried to put a black guy in there and just like act like that was normal for the time period at the time?
That motherfucker had a big sword, I'll tell you that.
Real talk. If I was Juliet...
I'm fucking the black guy.
Best believe. But with that being said, I feel like loading the gun. I don't think that we should be getting rid of this stuff because I feel like it's that thing where at the end of the day,
Juliet gets blacked.
It's to me almost all of it like the freedom of choice. I hate when things get taken away from us and say, you know what, because we feel morally about this, you guys aren't able to see it. Like as a society.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
And to
I
me,
don't
that's
like
like
it, so no
censorship.
one else can like it.
Well, I don't know, but there's certain things that like are actually like wrong and like
Okay, but
so like the book I was telling you guys about, like my mom grew up like reading like those books and like seeing those stories like in Mexico, and like so did my grandma, and like and then I remember them showing it to me, and they showed it to me like I was kind of grown, so I knew it was already wrong, and I was like, Mom, that's blackface. And the book's called Mimín Pingüín, and it's like it was a Mexican comic book, and it's a little boy, and they make him look like a monkey, and it's like blackface, and
It's no bueno.
yeah, it's not a good look.
so, but like you said, you were older and you're able to see and be like objectively. That's the thing where I think, I don't know who, the people think that we're so dumb that we can't make our own decisions and that if we look at something racist, automatically we're going to be racist. Like we can't look at something and be like, yo, that's messed up, but it's
Yeah.
good to know
You don't agree
what
with
this
everything
is
you
like.
read.
yeah,
So that we can understand.
but all that to say though, it's also not a U.S. thing. Like this was made in Mexico.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's made in Mexico or whatever, but when the government or whatever, I mean, because I guess it's not the government doing the Dr. Seuss thing, choose to take this stuff down.
It's more cancel culture that's like choosing. But I'm like, I'm saying.
But then
it's
who
like,
is cancel culture?
I don't know.
White people.
Mainly. That's okay. Okay. That's actually
Yeah.
a really good point because I was wanted to talk about this because it was me talking to my black friend who was saying, yo, I think this is stupid of people to want to like take this down. And what it really made me think of is, are we doing all this to appease fake woke white people? Because those are the consumers. Is the main consumer still white people, but just woke white people who are like, yo, we don't think that this is
Yeah.
right for the minorities.
Yeah.
So to me, it makes me feel like
Oh, I
it's
see
white
what you-
people making decisions on our behalf
Still.
because they're trying to protect us because they're like, you know what? Step aside, minorities. We have the privilege. We'll take care of this. Okay. Hey, we need to take this down because they're offended and we're just here not offended.
Yeah.
And being like, yo, I think
Yeah.
that you're wilding and be like, nope, you're racist too. And you're racist too. Okay. You guys are all being racist. We need to take this down.
Like, hold on.
And sometimes I'm like, yo, like, who are you protecting?
Because nobody needs to be protected.
Like, we can make our own decisions, right?
Yeah.
My mind, my choice.
There you go.
You know, I'm just saying, like, why do they or like people get to decide what we get to see and not see? It's
But
really like
then-
censorship.
But then you have people who are the heads of these companies that are also at the forefronts of the hold on, let's speak for the blacks. People like Coca-Cola.
Yes. So get us into a little bit about what happened. We were talking about Coca-Cola last week because I think it's a white person drink.
Right.
But not that it's a white person drink.
But they ain't Sprite is all I
No.
gotta say.
No, marketing, meaning like I always felt like Coke was marketed to white people.
What have you told me before?
And Sprite, literal whole campaign was for black people. That's like honestly why I think like the dirty Sprite era is such a big thing. If you look at a Coca-Cola commercial, like I said, it's polar bears and shit, and then you look at a Sprite commercial and it's Drake, or you look at a Sprite commercial and it's Lil Yachty, or you look at a Sprite commercial and it's LeBron James. Literally every person that's like in a Sprite commercial is like for black people, for like the urban market.
That word.
Market. That's what they fucking say. They use for their urban market. That's what Sprite is dedicated to.
So, Coca-Cola is facing mounting backlash from the conservatives online. Has responded to allegations of anti-white rhetoric after an internal whistleblower leaked screenshots of diversity training material. Oh wow! So this is for diversity training. Okay, that encourages staff to try to be less white. On Friday, Carlene, how the fuck do you pronounce her last name?
Just
Borenseiko.
I have no idea. So just,
okay.
Yeah.
An activist who supports banning critical race theory shared images from an internal whistleblower of the company's online racism training. The slides included tips to learners on how to be less white, less arrogant, less certain, less defensive, less ignorant, and more humble.
So she is a white woman, by the way, who gave this diversity training that told people to
Isn't
stop.
that funny?
It is funny because she actually had a whole book about being less white. It was a whole thing. And I guess she's popular and controversial enough to where Coca-Cola just saw a popular diversity figure and said, yo, let's hire her. She comes in.
Let's hire the white person to teach us about diversity.
And,
What do you think
go
Sean
back
King
up.
is?
Go back up. Go back up because here's the important things about it. Go down to where this was. The fact that, so when people say, so what does less white mean? The fact that they go less arrogant, so they're basically saying all white people are arrogant, less certain,
Less defensive.
So certain meaning like them just going to be like white people like, hold on, I got this. We know what's going on. We know
It's like, wait, no, you
what's
don't.
going on.
You don't.
Less defensive, which I understand that lately because of shit like this,
Right.
white people are very defensive about being racist. So they're like, what the fuck do you mean I'm being racist? And
That's very true. I remember at one time in
it takes away the education part of it, and it just
speaking
like,
of education, I remember one time I was a freshman in high school, and this kid.
So yesterday,
No, this black kid asked to go to the bathroom, right? And he got there late. And you know, that's the funny thing. You can make jokes about people. White people hate when you make jokes about them being racist. So this black kid asked to go to the bathroom but he got there late. And Miss oh shit, bleep that out. Cut that part out.
he'll do it. Whatever.
My white English teacher said no to the young African American fellow who got there late because he was coming from athletics and he had to change out. And
of course he was coming from athletics. Go ahead.
there you go. So she was like, "No, you may not go to the bathroom because you were late," and spit on him.
She did not do that last part.
She did not spit on him, but she said it very very mean. Like I was like, well, I was like, and I said it to a friend, and I didn't think she was gonna hear it. I was like, that's kind of racist. And she goes and looks at me, and she's like, I am not racist. And she went off on a whole like 20-minute tangent on how not racist she is.
So I actually saw this recent thing on Twitter where sometimes I have back and forth about this, and it was basically a person in an acting class, African American woman, basically told her teacher something about how she felt about a microaggression that she felt that he had done, and he came back with the whole long email about, you know, you owe me an apology for like saying that, you know, my reputation is held to a high standard around here for this and this and that, and for you to like accuse me of having like said this. I've taught so many people of so many different backgrounds, ethnicities, races, genders, sex, and, you know, started all these careers that have helped, you know, this and this and that. So you owe me an apology at the very least, or something like that. And at first I was looking at that. And the thing is, when I was seeing both sides, I was like, yo, I mean, if someone feels like, how the fuck you going to say this to me? What is going on? Like, why would you, you know, my thing when I'm reading replies and seeing how people felt, I didn't really see anyone share my thing of like, yo, if you're just having a thing and someone else just finds something and says, yo, I think I can make this racist or that I can make this a microaggression and calls you on it. The thing about it is like, does it matter on what your intentions were or does it matter on how people took it? And the thing where I get into that issue is anyone can take anything anyway, depending on what you say, period. You can say, have a good day. And they'd be like, I feel like that was like aggressive. If they take it somehow aggressive, doesn't matter what you say or what your intentions are. A lot of times it can be taken however they want it to be taken. So when you see that kind of stuff, is it on you or how people feel? Now, if someone tells you that they feel a certain way, I guess you should be like, yo, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah. I feel like
but does it have to be like I have to now change everything about me to make you feel comfortable all the time?
No, I think what it was, what should have been, what that situation should have sounded like. I feel like it should have been more like, oh, I didn't know that made you upset. That was not my intention. Like, thank you for bringing that to my attention. And because like, I feel like sometimes it doesn't even have to be like about race. Like it could just be something we can say some things that might be like low key offensive and we just don't know. Like it doesn't have to be racist or sexist or anything like that. It could just be like an offensive thing and you just don't know. So I feel like just I see why he probably got really defensive because of the way cancel culture is. But I think it's also taking a step back and being like, okay, what did I do? Is this legitimate? Is this not? And then respond in a proper manner.
Now, this is going to sound ignorant, but can someone explain to me what the fuck a microaggression is?
So
it's a microaggression.
So the only reason I kind of know what this is because of not kind of know what this is, but I guess because I've been to those diversity trainings from when I was an RA in college. They would have like these kind of things, and from what I remember from these trainings,
the definition.
Just read it,
read the definition.
A statement, action, or incident regarded as an instance or indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination against members of a marginalized group, such as racial or ethnic minority.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's just like
there's like
little racist comments here.
Like racial undertones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just like when I hear microaggression, like for one, all these things need better marketing. Micro makes me think like, okay, this is a micro problem then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is a little ass problem.
I see what you're saying.
Little.
Yeah.
So I just don't know.
So I mean, it's hard because like because like I think about like when I was an RA, and because this happened to me once, where we would have to do rounds, like we would have to go to every floor and like walk around, make sure everything was okay. It was part of our job, and on one of the floors, it smelled like weed, and like I was like any RA, like we're paid to snitch. That's our job. Like I like the first thing I
Bobby Shmurda?
No. The first thing I told my guys on my floor.
We got a 6'9" over here, but go ahead.
No. The first thing I told the guys on my floor. No, because it was the thing about it's not me. It's them being sloppy. It's not me being a snitch. It's them being sloppy. Because I would tell my guys day one, you guys are now adults. I don't care what you do. Legitimately, I do not care. Like I have homework. I don't need to be stuck in all this, drowning in all this paperwork from your bullcrap. So if I don't see it, smell it, or hear it, I don't care. I don't care. I was like, because I was usually I was just in the freshman dorms. So I was like, if you drink and you're underage, don't do it here. Do it somewhere else. Like, I don't care. You're an adult. Like, do whatever you want. So we were doing, they were called rounds. So we were doing our rounds or whatever. One of the floors smells like weed. And then we're like debating, like, we're like, do we call this in? Do we not? And then sometimes, like, if you didn't call it in, like, you could get in trouble too, because like people would then be like hit up like the like you could have like a resident complain like, hey, yo, it smells like weed. And then it's like, yo, didn't you not do your rounds? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
So then we ended up calling it in just cause. And we're like pissed off because again, we have to do paperwork because I'm like, bro, if we don't call it in, we're getting in trouble for not calling it in. So we called it in and we're just mad we have to like even deal with the situation because it was like Monday and like
Fucking Mondays, bro.
Mondays, am I right?
it was like a Monday night and we were on duty, which meant that like we couldn't leave the building. So like from like 7 to 7, we had to be in the building. And then so we were just pissed off already that it happened like that. And then I was like, bro, this is stupid. Like, why would people even smoke here? Like, go somewhere else. Like, this is dumb. So apparently someone heard that, twisted what I said, and like they were saying that I was being racist because I said they were the only ones stupid enough to like do it in the dorms. And here's the thing. The people complained saying that I was being racist to them for being Hispanic or for being Mexican. And like my boss pulled me in and she's like, hey, I just want you to know this is what's going around. I know that like you're not actually like racist, but this is what happened. She's like, tell me your side of it.
Kid's about as bean as it gets. I mean,
and then I was like, so this is, I told her, I like rendered, like, I was like, this is what happened. I was like, we couldn't even like figure out what room it came from. So I was like, and I put that in the report. Like, if I really wanted to be racist, I could have like said it came from this room. This is the people that like live here. You know, I could have made it bigger than it was. And I was like,
so did they even get caught? Because how does that even work?
No, that's the thing.
So they didn't even get caught. They just got flipped on you. Like, okay, so can we be real? Can we say that maybe that was their saving grace? They said, you know what? You gonna say we was smoking weed. We gonna say you was racist.
Yeah. So then like, and then I told her, I was like, yo, I was born in Mexico. Like, how am I gonna be racist to them for being Hispanic? Like, I am Mexican. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean?
So with all that being said,
yeah,
I mean, we all can agree that racism is bad.
And that white is right.
But I also feel like we need to be able to see history and be able to look at things objectively and make our own decisions and not just let companies say, you know what, we don't think your eyes should see this.
What, Asian people?
All things. But with that being said,
the 2 mask wearing people. You know,
we out this week. We done.
Coming at you from the right side of the fence. This is the 2 and a Half Citizens podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Boom.
Please don't cancel me.
I like how you don't say us, just me.
Yeah, I did nothing wrong.
All right, see y'all next week.